And yeah, so if everyone could, and I will share my screen. And we'll go to the Lean Coffee board. Okay, so if you just want to put some topics for the session and that we want to talk about here, could you see the Lean Coffee board on my, am I sharing the right screen?
No.
We can't.
You got my diary.
We don't see anything.
Ah, that's because I haven't clicked the button yet. That's better. Okay.
There we go.
Right, that's great. So there's the Lean Coffee board. Cool. So again, if you click on that link that's in the chat, you'll go there. And if there's anything, any questions you've got, anything you want to ask, we'll put them in here. We've got some from this morning, but again, I think I love Lean Coffee. And when I was interviewing Jim Benson last week, I think it was, I asked him what he was doing for the festival, and he said Lean Coffees, of course. And I just remembered that definitely before COVID, the best part of my week, was sitting in a large bank in the middle of the main office area with cakes and and several other coaches, with everyone else walking past going, what are they doing with those poster stickers? We used to get people like walking past, just curious about what we were doing. Okay, quick review of the ambassador's guide duties. Excellent. How to navigate and find things. Yeah. Selecting approving speakers and events. That's an interesting one. Probably looking. We've got a bit of an evolving policy happening there. Cool. Excellent. So you know the score. You all get a vote. So if we could upvote these. But just before we start, well, I'm going to stop sharing and let's just do a quick go around, just introducing ourselves, who we are, who we are, and what we're grateful for just now. And in order, I'll shout the names out. So we'll start with Wayne. I'll work down my screen grid, which will be different from your screen grid. So Wayne.
We could switch the grid around so we all appear in different orders.
Could do. So why are you here? And I love your bookcase.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll grab a book for you right about there. You go.
is that stately Wayne Manor?
Yes, yeah. Batman may be just around the corner. But no, I'm Wayne, obviously. So from Canada, I'm in there with Sri and Nina, and I see a couple of. We have other Canadian ambassadors that I don't see, and that's one thing I would like to see if we could do something about and involve them more and get going on this. But anyway, that's why I'm here tonight, to try to get going. I'm thankful that this is almost the end of the day.
It is the end of my day.
Yeah. Good. More end for you than me.
Yeah. I think it's my 9th meeting of the day.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've got Carl next.
Hi, Carl Smith. I'm grateful that it's the end of the day. I'm actually grateful for this because it's kind of an unusual opportunity, and there's lots of work, but I'm also enjoying meeting people.
Excellent. Grace Johnson. I just want to maybe see where you are as well. So Wayne's in Canada, Carl's in Scotland. Yeah, over to you, Grace.
My name is Grace Johnson. I'm from Nigeria. Sorry, my kids are still awake.
So mine, don't worry.
I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for Agile trying to reflect and meeting all of you.
Hello.
You need a wife, Grace. Don't worry about the noise, Grace. Honestly, I've got the same noise in the background. Ash, do you want Ash or Ashish?
Most people call me Ash, so that's me.
That's how I know you.
I do a whole bunch of things for different clients. For some clients, I build websites. For some clients, I do solutions architecture, do C# programming, PHP programming. Basically, anything that pays the bills, I do it, as long as it's legal.
Speaking of the bills, Ash is funding the website and wrote the website and is supporting the website. So we've had an amazing amount of effort out of him. Just if you want to clap, what to do is I found that if you do this, you don't have to worry about putting your so yeah. Everyone do this. Come on, I am one of those coaches. Come on, I'm not going to stop until everyone's doing it. I love it. Right, Ash, thank you very much for the new website, which is gorgeous, and all the new features and that, and just the organization that we managed to put into it. Thank you very much.
There's a lot of work being done by Carl as well, so
yes,
I can't take all the credit.
No, yeah,
and it's team efforts.
Team efforts,
basically.
yeah. No, it's good. Okay, Mimi, who are you?
Hi,
and where are you?
So I'm currently based in London. My name is Mimi. I'm the ambassador for England. I'm also an Agile lead. And apparently, as of this morning, the PO for archiving. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for...
You did volunteer.
Yeah. I did actually, yeah.
This morning you said archiving, that's going to be a wicked problem, and I went, yeah, do you want it?
I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that seem to have come out of this year. At the beginning, I thought it was going to be a complete write-off, and then all my plans were scuppered by COVID. But because I've been in one place, I've actually been able to focus and kind of get learning done, get a job. And now I'm an ambassador and I'm learning so much, and I'm about to be thrown into this massive, amazing project. And I'm super, super, super excited. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for.
I love your energy.
Thanks.
Jay, do you want to go next?
Hi, my name is Gervais, but I go by Jay Jervis Johnson. I live in San Francisco, and I think I was one of the first people to volunteer for this ambassador.
You
were. So Scott was kind enough to give me all of North America, and trying to organize everything. So we do have a meeting later today with the North America ambassadors to talk about more details on what we're going to do and all that cool stuff. So a little bit about me. I've been in the business for 40-something years. I've been doing Agile and transforming companies for 20 years. I led the IBM Agile practice and DevOps practice for 15, 17 years.
Sounds like there's an event there, Jay. Just telling your stories.
I know. I could tell you some stories, but I'll have to do some interesting words. I do cuss a lot, and I've been told try not to do that, especially in the public forum. So I'm learning. So that's me. And right now I'm working for one of the largest banks in the world and helping them, do Agile better and transform and all that cool stuff. And we're working at a couple other big companies and insurance companies too. Our company is, so it's all good. And I'm excited to be here. I'm grateful that that this is really taken off. So thanks to Scott and everyone else on here. Oh my gosh, this is night and day from when we began. I mean, this looks like a real professional group now. Holy moly. And so I'm just grateful to be here and to learn, and I'm happy.
Excellent. No, it's and you've seen the growth as well. It started as a conversation with two people. It's amazing.
Wait, did you say that it started 9 days ago?
90 days.
I was about to say, like, whoa. I don't know what magic you guys did.
We're not that good. Right. Nina, do you want to go next?
Hey guys, I'm Nina. I'm based out of Toronto. I work with Srikanth and help him with his events. And I'm grateful for the chance to get to know all of you guys, and also that my dog is semi-cooperating right now.
Oh, we're allowed dogs in the picture. You're allowed children in the picture. In fact, it's mandatory. You know, you just got to have your home life in. Yeah. Okay. Shrikant.
Yeah, hi. I'm Shrikant. Again, I'm in Toronto. Nina helps me with all the marketing and the events work. I'm a big believer in change, so I help with facilitating that as much as I can. And I run about 6 meetup groups in different locations, especially with the global pandemic. Things have changed. A lot has moved online.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pitch in and do my bit to propagate this festival, and as well as have some great events that are useful to the audience who come and participate.
Yeah, and particularly in the Northern Hemisphere, I know it's different for Miles and the people in the South, and they're in summer. We're in winter in the middle of lockdown. It's just not fun. Scotland, you know, might have a maritime weather, but you know, I can feel Toronto. So it's good to have something to keep us going. Especially these Christmases are probably going to be the quietest we've ever had. New Year's incredibly big in Edinburgh, and we're not going to have anything this year. So it's the world's a bit alien. So it's good to have this fellowship. Okay, so I've got Alexandra next. Hello, Peru.
Hi everybody. This is Alexandra from Peru. Well, I'm agile and visual facilitator, so I do this kind of trainings, helping people to use their drawing skills to put their ideas visible. So that's what I do mostly, and I also work with companies, helping them to develop their skills. And I'm very grateful to be part of this nice group. So I'm happy just to meet you and be here and help in any way I can.
Yeah, well done. The mighty Padmini.
Hello, everyone.
How's my favorite dancer?
Favorite dancer is pretty well. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, or good night or good morning, depending on where you are. I'm based out of Washington, D.C., and I've been here for 20 years, originally from India, and I have worked back in India as well. I am an enterprise coach with one of the biggest financial firms in the country. And I'm also the co-founder of an organization called Lean and Agile for Women. And this is an initiative to bring women together and raise the platform for women, and also creating safe space for women to have those courageous conversations. It's been a couple of years and we received tremendous support from the community. And I reached out to Scott, in fact, and I said, at the beginning of this festival, I said, it'll be fantastic if we can carve out that space in the festival, in the events across the world, where we can bring in the women and they can express their concerns or share and offer and seek in a psychologically safe space. And in that context, I'm very grateful for the chief pirate here, and Grace, right, who welcomed, our organization with open arms. And ours is a community organization, right? There is no subscription or, donation involved. It's a community organization. So thank you for allowing me here. And I'm looking forward to serving this community. And I'm just humbled by this group here. It's such an accomplished group. And I have no clue how Shrikant runs 6 meetups. I don't even know if you have wings or a cape, but I can't even imagine that, right? So very humbled and honored to be in your company.
Just a quick one. I asked Padmini to do a little bit of a safety review on the whole thing, because we're online. So today on the earlier call, we had a hijacking, just some kids. It was the equivalent of joyriders outside the grocery store, But first time it's ever happened to me. Then I got a real adrenaline buzz. but it's just that, we need to get these safeguarding and guidance out to everyone else, just to just to make some things happen. And you could just tell they were kids, but you know, unkind comments and things. So we need to, you know, we need to build that safety in, and we want this to be a hugely safe space. Okay, Jorge. Sorry.
Hello, Jorge or George.
I'll just call you. I'll call you amigo.
Amigo. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm Jorge Ursan. I'm from Chile. I am the South America ambassador. So I'm very happy and grateful to be here. I work in change management and agile with a special focus in people management. So I am international trainer in HR Agile and in lean change management.
Excellent.
So that is one of the topics that we are trying to share in the festival. So we are inviting also to Pia Maria Thoren, which is the creator from Agile People, and Jason Little from Lean Change Management, as a Lean Change Association. So I think that we have still a lot of things to do. We need more energy, commitment, and concrete activities to spread to the rest of the community, social networks, to get more and more people enthusiasm with this initiative.
Yeah, we need to find the tipping point. There's a lot of energy at the moment. We just haven't tipped. We will.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to go on to the last two so we can actually get to the lean board. So is it Tarlisha? Hello, is it Tarlisha?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Alicia. Good
Excellent.
afternoon, good evening, everyone.
How are you?
I'm located in Chicago. I'm actually good. Located in Chicago. I'm actually driving on my way home now. Be home in about 5 minutes. I'm new to Agile, but I know attending these meetings and being part of the Agile 2020 Reflect, I will learn lots and lots of things from you professionals, and I am just so glad to be here to just learn, to see what else I can learn, to see what else is, you know.
That's awesome. I'm here to learn from you too. We're all here to learn. You drive safe, and when you get to the other side, you can have a look at the board and things, and we'll have a look at that.
Okay.
And last, Greg, how are you doing, Greg?
Good evening. I thought I'd just be a bit of a passenger tonight, just looking in for ideas, stimulus in this time of low stimulus.
That's all right. That's what we're here for, fellowship. I think it was Wesley that said we're all coals in a fire. And if we take you out of the fire, you will go cold. And when we're back in the fire and the hearth, we burn bright. So we need fellowship, especially at this time. Okay, I've reposted the link to the Lean Coffee Table. And I'm going to share my screen again so we can have a look at it. And if you all vote on the Lean Coffee Table, that'll be awesome. And you can hear my children complaining about bath time. So let's have a look. Right, I voted. Oh, good night, Grumpy. Okay. Alejandro, have you managed to vote?
Do we need to vote right now?
Yes. So see where it's, see where it's, if you go to the board, did you see that? Have you got the link to the board?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah,
yes.
And if you just click on the vote buttons,
okay,
that would be awesome. I think that's all. I think you're the I think once you've voted, that's us. Absolutely wonderful. I think I have everyone together from all over the world. My daughter was talking, she was talking to the next door neighbor's girl, and she said, and the next door neighbor's girl said that she speaks Russian, and she's about 5. And Alba, who's 4, said, my dad knows people all over the world. She comes into the office and listens. Yeah. Right, let's start the discussion. Now, I love this software because it does all the counting. And we are going to be talking about, we'll spend 5 minutes on ideas to market meetups with interesting digital marketing material. Okay, so who raised that? Who wants to talk
Sorry,
about it?
I was on mute.
That's okay.
That's me.
On you go. You got the floor.
All right. So I know there are a ton of meetups across the world, especially in this virtual environment. And I know we are doing our best to kind of raise visibility for Agile 20, right? The festival itself. But we could do all these create events and get the speakers. But what are some of the ideas that we can share here and among the volunteers as well to ensure we have or we are equipped with ideas to market this? Because I think simple creation of meetup and putting it on social media might not bring us as much as we need in terms of attention and visibility, right, to this event. What are some of the other ideas that you all have engaged in that probably brought more audience and more engagement in?
Great question. Have you got any thoughts?
I was hoping, Shrikant, you might have some, especially since you run quite a few. We can learn from you if you have any ideas and what are some of your experiences?
A few things that I do is, one is you want to keep your audience interest, so you want the best speakers in the market. So I keep going and harvesting all the other meetup groups throughout the world, the top ones, to look at what speakers they bring to the table. So I steal ideas generally. That's what I'm doing all the time, is that look around, participate, go to competing meetups all over the world, especially with COVID. A lot of people who were not online have gone online now. And then when I bring speakers to Toronto, I bring a lot of them from Europe. There are some challenges like timing. Their evenings are our afternoons. I have to do it like lunch hour meetings. And I continue to keep looking for them. So already Nina and I are working not only for the festival in February, but for a larger pipeline for all of 2021 in total. So we would be reaching out to more than about 300 to 500 people to have a pipeline. And then you continue to follow, and a few of them commit every month and are ready to talk at that particular time. So it helps to wrap up events around them. So it's an ongoing process for that.
Yeah, one of the side effects here I wanted to do with the speaker directory was actually have a global list of speakers that we could use, especially not just from the Western countries, but from lots of countries. So that, I think, from being a meetup organizer, I think that's going to be really useful. Always, you can just go down, you can build your own event from different things.
Can I just add in there that we also need to not think about meetup. We need to think about where people are. So I'm engaging with past clients, and they have internal events for their own organizations. And when I'm just explaining it to us, I'll give one example. I spoke to the CEO of ThoughtWorks, and she thought it was a brilliant idea, but she's not able to action it. So she's passed it over to the global MD of marketing. And they're looking at doing events globally within ThoughtWorks and start putting them together in January. So, I will liaise with them to draw down speakers from our list. But the point is that they've got 6,500 staff worldwide. So there are lots of, we need to, yeah, definitely use Meetup and the connections we've already got, but also think about where are the people and how can we connect them?
Yeah, so Carl, that's a good point, because one of the things I did is I reached out to Carlos Betabrosa. He leads the product school here in the Bay Area, which is one of the premier places where they teach, product owners, product managers in the world. And so he wants to participate. He's going to speak. But I was thinking that they have events and meetups too in February, the product school. So why not put them on our site too? So people
just
can
co-brand.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm starting to talk to more and more people to do that co-branding, merging type of thing, so that we can have a holistic picture.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to own these things. We want to celebrate together.
Yeah, it's we're talking to Scrum Alliance last week, and I think the only thing that came up was they were happy to do their event. One of the things we said was we'd like to get all the recordings and have them centrally. If only I had like a product owner to look at that archiving piece. but one of the intentions I always had was that these would be perhaps on YouTube with a Creative Commons license, just so anyone could use them afterwards. And Scrum Alliance, that was the only thing that they kind of raised an eyebrow on. I think their plans are to actually do an event in the Snowbird room, where I go Hamilton, the room where it happened. And they're co-branding on that with us, and they'll be co-publicizing. But again, the PMI, Agile Alliance, everyone else. Come January, we're heavily going to be marketing, through them as well. Yeah, I'm sometimes torn between if we did have tons of events, would that be excellent? Or if we get 80 events, would that be brilliant? 80 events is like, almost like, was it 3 a day for the whole of February? It's still going to be the biggest thing anyone's ever done. It's still going to have the furthest reach, that's our, all the way from, Vietnam to Peru. I'm also kind of worried that we maybe, because we're setting us something new, it might have a longer cycle. So it's almost like we might really peak in marketing in March. Which is not really useful if you're doing an event in February, but yeah.
A quick thought here, Scott. So I know co-branding is very valuable, and we are doing it with Agile Alliance and Scrum Alliance and potentially with Scrum.org. Now, I might have missed this, apologize if I missed it, but is there like a, like the write-up or the format of, the meetup information or message that we landed on? So in other words, maybe a common title and a common description, of course, followed by whatever the local meetup wants to add. The reason I say that is when folks are looking for meetups across the globe, there is a pattern and there is a certain uniformity that they can see in these meetups that we are organizing for the festival. And that kind of brings out the brand right away. For example, I have my meetup, called Lean and Agile Meetup. And in the description, I said, hey, we are celebrating Agile 20 Festival. But then I went on to say, we're going to have a speaker, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really, convey the branding effectively. So just a thought, does that help for all of us to communicate what this festival is about and the significance of it in the meetup itself, in addition to?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. The marketing group has just got a new addition. It's a woman from England who runs meetups called Sheetal Thakkar, and Sheetal has been working on the exact message. So almost like as soon as when your event goes in, we send you the branding, the marketing, the word pack. You can then go and adjust your messages out, and when you're kind of announcing them. So she's pulling that together right now. So we should have that within a week. Again, we're doing all this in a kind of like a tremendous time scale, but a really good suggestion. And I'm glad we've got someone in that area, and we'll learn from it. So we'll probably put the first lot out and then pivot. One of the things we wanted to do was also show a lot of variety. And I guess if 200 events look the same, we're just like different details, different places, that might be brand over. So I actually love it when I look down the list in the event and I see your logo and I see everyone else's logo. I really get the sense that this is a marketplace, and not just like a branded event. So I think there's a balance there, and I'm not sure what the right balance is, but I want to encourage everyone to be individual, and even regionally, have your own theme, have your own logos, have your kind of.
I mentioned earlier today, one of the meetings, that we have a primary key, and that's the written Agile 20 reflect, all one word, and festival. And that's really the only thing we're using to join everything together at the moment. But I agree, a lead-in text about why will be very useful.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, so is there an action in there we need to think about?
Just need to follow up with the marketing team about the common text.
Okay, we'll have a word with Sheetal. Okay, cool. Right, let's actually call this done, because it feels like a natural pause there. And I love this because it condenses everything into your notes. Quick review of the ambassador guide and duties. Excellent. What do you think is the best way to do that, Carl or Grace? Probably give that 10.
Bring it up and bring it up and we'll discuss.
Okay, I'll stop sharing. Is it worth looking at the website as well? Actually, if you get the guide up, then we can tell them what Carl did on the website.
Are you blaming me? I had help.
Was it Ash and Carl?
Just here to encourage.
You okay, Grace? Do you want to?
Okay, I'll share.
Excellent. Yeah. Grace did an amazing job with the ambassador situation, because she's more or less set up this entire active network around the world single-handedly. So really, you're going to get a good LinkedIn review after this. If you ever want to set up a state department, Grace is your woman. I think Trump could have done with you.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
So you're going to share the guide?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to share it as well?
Sorry, I thought that's what you were doing. Sorry.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm sorry. Let me stop sharing so I can.
Let me share it.
Okay.
If you stop sharing, I'll share. I'm sure I had it open a little while ago. Let's go to the website. It's probably the easiest thing to show the website. I think when I've been training people, I've just been using the website because it's the easiest thing to use. Okay, share screen. All right, so here's the website again, and this is the bit that Carl's done. I don't know if you've noticed it, anyone, but he's kind of all the events that we've got. Carl and Ash are kind of have kind of marked them down by where they're at. So really the key thing, the key activity for ambassadors really, I guess, is linking up people so they can ultimately put things into the the document here, and we can get events. If we can see, I'm just absolutely loving the colors and everything here that everyone's put things into. And as more and more of the events come down, I think that's just absolutely brilliant just to see them all coming in. So getting events in your area, and having Spanish events and visualization events and social events and retrospectives or future spectives and everything else in here is just going to be so powerful. It's just an amazing thing, that ambassadors can do by linking into companies, linking into organizations, linking into other people, activating people to think about ideas and put them in. I think that's the key thing, and I could probably go into. I'll probably hand over to kind of Miles to show you kind of a little bit. So not Miles, Carl, to show you a little bit more about the kind of the online things. But these events are really going to get there. And the other thing is, we can search by location. We can actually search events. Perhaps I want to look at Kanban events. So imagine if this has got 60, 70, 100 things in it. You'll be able to search for the things that you want to talk about. Leadership's probably going to be a big thing. Did I spell it wrong? Sorry. Yeah. So we've got some more leadership ones. So again, people can come along here and navigate, and that's just going to be amazing. For this to work as well and to help everyone. The key thing here are speakers. So as ambassadors, I've got all of the details of the speakers. And gosh.
And Scott, how do you get to that area?
I just use the search engine for everything. I think.
So there are two versions of the speaker directory. There's only one location to add a speaker, but there's two versions of the speaker directory. There's the speaker directory, which is in the public end, which is under take part, and it's setting up an event. So that's be a speaker. So if you go down to setting up an event, there's a public end of the speakers. For all the ambassadors, and the reason we've had to do this is for GDPR, for protecting data, is that we on the public end, we can't list their contact details. So you have to be logged in to access the contact details, which are in the ambassadors area on the site. So Grace today has given me a list. I think she gave it to me before, but I was kind of busy. Give me a list of all the ambassadors' names and email addresses, and over the next day or so, I'll be adding everyone in.
So, okay, I was going to say, because I haven't seen a login yet, and I guess I'm getting just the public site.
Yes, just get the public site until you get an email from the system with your password. Okay. So you'll get that. I'll just maybe do that now.
So again, just to go back to the screen I'm sharing. So let's say you want to do a Cynefin event, and you want to find a Cynefin speaker. Dave Snowden there, Liz is there, Seb Shaw's there, and you'd have all their contact details, and they can just contact them, and you can say, look, I'm over here in Canada. Could you do a meetup? You could maybe put one of those kind of time things to try and find the bit with the speaker. Again, we've got some really big names in here. So my biggest concern is that we don't actually use these volunteer speakers.
So one of the things I suggest is that as we coordinate the meetups and everything, we talk to the meetup leader or whatever, the ambassador kind of handholds the meetup leader to contact Dave or whoever, and then set up a meeting with them, and then work out the logistics and all that stuff. Because I think the ambassadors kind of should or kind of help, glue that together.
Yeah.
I think it'll depend. Some meetups will be great. Other ones won't. Some meetups will need the contact details. Other ones might have the contact details, or will just, it's like me. I think I've got 10,000 people on LinkedIn, including most of the Agile community. So if I ever want someone, I can usually get them quite easily. But if you are near to the community or just setting up your first meetup.
So it depends, isn't it? Like, for example, I'm part of the Dave Snowden Net Trainer Network, so I have access to Dave. I'll just pick up the phone and talk to him.
Yeah.
So he owes me a couple of meetups. So I'm planning one. He's one of the things he's planning to bring at least for a couple of sessions in my groups.
Brilliant.
But again, having said that, he can do other sessions for other groups too. It doesn't stop him from doing different events, different themes, different locations and timing as well. So
yeah.
So that would be an interesting thing to see. Like you said, Scott, there might be some speakers on here who are underutilized and maybe available and would like to speak, and then other speakers who are maybe booked 3 or 4 times. Is there a way to tell who's available and what their schedule is like somehow?
Yeah, what I was thinking of doing was, and again, we haven't, the technical guys are on, but I actually just think we delist speakers that are, committed. So the director is only the director of people that are available. So if Jeff Watts, for instance, gets called 10 times, we take Jeff Watts out and he doesn't get 10 more calls. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't really want to kind of set policy, but it's easy enough to turn those records off and on, I think, Ash, isn't it?
So what we would need is when you're recording an event or when you're inputting an event, you would need to select the speaker. And only when you do that, we would need some drop down as well, not free text. And this is something myself and Carl were discussing today. So if that happens, then yes, we can do it. Otherwise, it's technically difficult.
Yeah, but we could actually, there aren't that many speakers. So, I mean, I'm taking ownership of the speaker directory. Apparently at the trustee meeting, there's a long silence. And then Youssef said, I think you need to own it, Scott. So I think even with the number of speakers I've got, happy to just deactivate the records or something.
There's about 250 speakers at the moment.
Yeah. So I if maybe what we do is contact, I could email all the speakers using MailChimp to say, like, when you're full, just contact me and I'll take your record out. It doesn't have to be complicated.
What we can do is we can have a speaker drop down added to the events. Someone will have to go and edit all the past events, but then that would only mean that for each event we can only have one speaker.
No, I think I think there'll be, I don't think there'll be a one-to-one relationship. Let's just keep it manual. It's probably easier just to, when the speakers start complaining they've had too much contact, or if any of the ambassadors hear that a speaker's had enough, just let me know. Drop me an email. I'll deactivate the record. Okay. Yeah. What other key duties would be on the website?
To get events.
Yeah, we've got that one. We've got the speakers. I think I guess the to update the ambassador piece.
So what we've created is local hub pages for each region, and part of giving the login is to allow you to update your own region with the content. I've created a format that ties them all together. So we have a latest content, we have meet the ambassadors. Recently added Global Festival calendar will actually be the calendar events that are happening in your area, and local supporters, because we're quite happy to have the logos of companies and organizations that are supporting you, or even your companies there, because it's all about proliferating Agile and actually supporting the celebration. So, but we don't know who, essentially we don't know who that is. And if you had to come to us to do it, we would be the blockage in getting anything done. So we created some videos to see how to do things. And if you need help, ask. We're here to help and to facilitate. We are another bunch of facilitators.
Yeah, so that's kind of a useful directory as well for you to meet other ambassadors and things. Yeah. I mean, again, the whole part of what we're doing here was to try and make it regionally devolved and distributed. And actually, when you speak to Lisa Atkins, when you speak to the other patrons, they're very interested in this devolved nature of things and seeing what happens. And we're also very interested in learning from other places in the world. Oops, here we go, Singapore. So I'm just fascinated by just to see what different ambassadors do come up with. Everyone seems to, it's got a universally good idea. Lots of speakers are making themselves available. Lots of companies seem to want to back it. Lots of meetups seem to want to get involved. So I'm not really sure what's holding us up. I don't mean that negatively, because I don't think things are getting held up, because I'm seeing more and more events come in. But there's a kind of, I think when I was on a video with Sanjay Augustine last week, I said I think I've maybe created a kind of because I've pushed everyone into a new area. It's a bit like the school disco. Did you guys go to the school disco? And nobody wants to be the first ones to dance. And it feels like this is the first few songs on. So the boys are looking at the girls, and the girls are looking at the boys. And nowadays, I guess everyone's looking at everybody. I think we're just in those first couple of songs, and pretty soon we're going to get 3 songs in. And now that the calendar's filling up, I think we're going to get everyone on the dance floor soon. And it's going to look amazing, and it's going to be colorful, and it's going to be all completely self-organized. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I'd like some, I'm going to stop the clock for a little bit. I'd like some feedback from the ambassadors on that, because our central view is we think it's a special thing to allow the regions to organize and do what they want. And we're trying to facilitate it. I'm just hoping that's well received. So just some feedback on that would be great, because that's why we talk.
I think you're right, Scott. Anybody I've talked to about it so far has always been excited. They think it's a great idea. They love to try to organize something. Just up until now, it's been a little confusing just where to put stuff and how to actually go about the mechanics of doing it. But lots of great ideas are coming out. I think it's just a matter of getting them to come together now.
Yeah, and it's a bit like popcorn. Yeah, some will come, some won't come, but that's okay. Yep. We'll just do this last one for the last 5 minutes.
So I was the one who suggested this one. That's Mimi. Hi. I was in the 8 a.m. session this morning, and one of the things I remember hearing was that we're not having any sponsors. It's literally going to be community led, which is an amazing thing. But I'm just wondering, how do we get companies involved? Does anybody have any ideas about this? Because I think it would be amazing to get a lot of companies involved, whether it's to share their story of how they were able to implement Agile in their organizations, maybe teething problems that they had with the Agile transformation and how they got over it, or, but I'm just thinking, like, are there any outside the box ideas that might come out of this? I'm just curious to find out what ideas other people have about this, and how we can really make everybody get involved.
So can I answer that from my perspective, because I wanted to run some events as well. It's Carl again. I took the 3 themes of the festival, and one of them is the current state. And I've invited 2 organizations who have just recently started Agile transformations, and one of them is the Scottish government. So, I'm not trying to speak to the smallest businesses out there. I'm trying to actually talk to the ones that are running countries about how are they adopting Agile. And I think that's the thing is there are no limitations on what we can do here.
Yeah, we're definitely. I'm getting John to do a rave. Apparently, streaming raves is really good for people.
I think to the point, it's up to us, the people on the team, to reach out to people they know in companies. So I've already started reaching out to Wells Fargo and Bank of America and some others to see how they want to participate. But it's better if you know leaders or executives in the company. Otherwise, you're going to get shuffled off to the marketing PR department, and you're going to go down a rabbit hole. So so one of the things I'm trying to do internally, and since I'm working in these companies, is to invite certain leaders in the companies that are doing this and say, hey, would you like to be a speaker here? Because people would want to learn, what the challenges you had, how'd you overcome them, what you're doing, and so forth. And I've got a couple people that are interested, but at the same time, they have to make sure, for example, at Wells or Bank or America or these other companies I work out, can they do it? Because everyone's very sensitive about sharing certain information and approval. But I always tell them, look, you don't have to say it's Wells Fargo. You can just say it's at a large bank.
That's what we had to do. Carl and I used to work at a large bank, and if we were at conferences, it's like, it's a large bank that I can't tell you about, but if anyone wants to Google my name, I'm the only Scots server on LinkedIn. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Scott, I was just going to say, another pitch that you can make to people is a short video teaser, because you can create trailers for things. Don't be wrapped up in the event alone. Think about all the collateral you can create as you go.
Yeah. I was just going to say, one thing I've been doing is kind of trolling LinkedIn, and anytime I see a nice topic, I go, this would be a great topic for www.agile20.com. Why don't you add an event? and actually, it's with 10,000 people on LinkedIn, I can sit for a quarter of an hour a day just doing that. Last night I sat on Meetup, going around meetups and just saying, would you like to come and join? It's my new hobby, trolling people. Yeah. I kind of I think North America is great because you're all coming together, and I think when you come together, you help each other. I'm a bit worried about some of the more isolated ambassadors, but again, we're kind of, it's like a one-off thing we're doing. And when I went to see Harris and Owen, we're just 2 minutes and then we'll stop because we're coming to the hour. When I went to see Harris and Owen about this, there's a couple of things he said. What you're doing is going to be emergent, so we don't really know what it is. And I think already from what we've got in the calendar, we're going to be one of the biggest things in Agile. And I think that if every ambassador, and we've got 77 around about the world, comes up with even one event, it's going to be the most diverse and varied thing that anyone's ever done. And it's a bit of a template, and who knows, next year we could maybe do something similar. And now the infrastructure's here, it's easy. If you think about it, we had to start with no network. We started with no website. We started with not knowing how to do this. And we're here now, this side of Christmas. And already there's more events in February than I can personally go to. And there's so many in the pipeline. So that's an amazing story. So what Harrison Owen said is, whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened. Yeah. And whoever comes are the only people that could have come. Yeah. And when we were kicking around, what we could do and what it could be in that, and what the themes were. And again, before we came up with Charles Dickens' Ghosts, the Ghost of Christmas Past, Christmas Present, Christmas Future, and hopefully Agile community will jump up like Ebenezer did and change its ways a little bit. But before we go into the ghosts, Harrison said, really in the Agile market, you've changed so much, you're doing so much, you've got the business side, the software side, there's so much friction everywhere, that really what we're doing is finding out who we are and where we're going. And I think that end of February, we'll all have a clear idea about who we are and where we're going just by seeing how everyone comes together. Honestly, if you'd said to me that Scrum Alliance, Agile Alliance, SAFE, Scrum.org, everyone would come in, I wouldn't have believed it at the beginning, and it's just happened. So we're doing great work. Everything we do is amazing, and yeah, I think that's the end of the call. Thank you so much for all your effort, and thank you so much for being interested. This is a community thing, so it's the people that drive it. Anyone got any last words before we kill the line?
I really want to try and take all of the, how can I save the conversation, the chat?
I've got a copy of it. I can send it to you.
Okay, great, because all the meetups that have been posted in there, I just wanted to capture those.
Okay. Well, I'll have the Lean Coffee board, and I've got a copy of all the chat from all the calls today.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm glad you got home safely.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent. No, love you all. Let's do the
Nice
hands.
to meet
And
you
then
guys.
go.
Thanks, everybody.
Just
See you
a
later.
bit. We'd love to have Christmas videos or New Year videos from you all. Just happy Christmas and then happy New Year, and just create something out of it.
Yeah, we've got this daft idea. If we got all the ambassadors to do a Happy New Year, probably Happy New Year rather than Happy Christmas, because
Merry Christmas.
Culture.
Yes, happy. Yeah.
It's a working day. It's a working day in some of the countries who've got ambassadors. All right. All right. Love you all. See you later.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.